morning. Good morning, everyone. We can have it on the screen, studio. You can do duplicate for it. Okay. Thank you. So, good morning, everybody. Yes, my name is Dr. David Okeyo from Kenya. Currently, I'm the Chief Executive Officer for Kenya Nutritionists and Dietitians Institute. I'm also running scientific programs that is on regulatory framework. And I have the pleasure to run this side event together with you. And I want you to feel more welcome. My area of expertise is nutrition scientist, public health nutrition. And you are welcome. So I'll be starting my presentation, and later on we will share notes. Why we organize for this conference side events is to get acquainted with the knowledge of regulatory framework in Kenya and also see how best we can work together. So by the time we are finishing this, we shall have decided whether we want to work with this man or not. So you feel more welcome. I have my team members here, the two ladies at the corner there. We have Jacqueline Muridi, who will be assisting in the presentation. Then we also have Pauline Aloch. Pauline, you can stand so that at least they can see you. Thank you. Then Jacqueline, you can also stand. They are all research team members. So thank you very much. So this is a showcase of regulatory framework that works in Kenya. And I just want to, we can flip it. The studio, is it working? We can flip it. Good. So this is a picture that is showing the Kenya Nutritionists and Dietitians Institute. We are in between chicken farms somewhere, but a national office, which is a government, a state office. We chose to be in the farm because that is where food comes from. This is Kenchik Farms, and around it we have quite a number of farmers, small scale farmers, doing some good work there. And of course, you can see Kenya is just the neighbor to Tanzania and Uganda and Ethiopia. And we are a very good country. We have good things also in Kenya that you may need to come and pay a visit to. You can flip also, next slide. So, regulatory framework. Now, it would be interesting for you to know that Kenya is the only country with an act of parliament that is regulating the profession of nutrition and dietetics. I know that Zambia has an act of parliament on food and nutrition, but it is a service act. But this one is purely a professional body, just like the Medical and Practitioners Board. If you come to Tanzania and Uganda, you'll find that we only have Medical Practitioners Board, Nursing Council, and then Allied Health Sciences. For Kenya, we have 13 regulatory authorities, and Nutrition and Dietetics has an act. That act is called CAP 253B. You can download it, thank you. You can download it from the internet and read the whole of it. And the act itself is cited as Nutritionist and Dietitians Act number 18 of 2007. So in this act, the Kenyan Parliament gave us 10 functions. And those functions are what I've put on the right-hand side. The first 4 functions, that is from A to D, are regulatory functions for the professional. So we determine and set a framework for professional practice in Kenya. We also set and enforce standards for professional practice and ethics for the profession itself. And then we enforce programs of quality assurance. and then approve training institutions for purposes of training those to be registered under the Act. Then from number E to the last one, that is service, those are service functions. And in this, we are training nutritionists. We are also building competency through CPDs. And then we design programs for good diet or suitable dietary habits in Kenya. And we also work jointly with other bodies to participate in the reviews of food and food products, including supplements and fortifiers with the nutrition claims. It's a very huge task for us. So in the wisdom of the Institute, we are governed by a council, and the expertise are made up of professional nutritionists. We have divided those functions into two. So we have those regulatory functions, and then we have service functions. And this is where now we are going to have this side event presentation so that you can see where you can come in. If you go to our website, you will find all functions for the Institute. We have product endorsement. For example, those who have products with nutrition claims, we have to do a value chain review and give them a thumbs up so that they can continue to sell their products in the country. And we use the nutrition lens so that they can give us the best quality products. We have private practitioners, those who engage in private practice to offer nutrition services. Then we have capacity building programs, which is purely on leadership and emotional intelligence training. It's a series of trainings. Then we have licensed practitioners portal and internship. We take nutrition interns to health facilities for a period of 1 year before they are approved to be registered as nutritionists and dietitians. And then we have also training institutional approvals. So all the universities and middle-level colleges that are training in nutrition and dietetics, we also approve them using 11 standards that we have developed. So far, some good results from 2015 to date. We have about 44 private practitioners in nutrition service delivery in the country that are registered. Those are apart from those working in the health facilities. These are running their own businesses as private practitioners. We have a total of 14,500 nutritionists and dietitians in the country, currently registered in Kenya. And we retain them on the basis of CPD score. So we have given them a target of 42 hours per year equivalent, or 14 points equivalent of CPD for them to be retained in the register. If not, they are deregistered, and so, or de-licensed to practice. We have also 10 CPD providers that assist them to update their knowledge. And we have approved in Kenya 83 training institutions. Out of that, 28 are public and private universities. Then we have the remaining ones, middle-level colleges, including Kenya Medical Training College. We have approved the value chain of 4 large food companies in Kenya, those that have gone through our standards. And we have about 480 food companies on matters of nutrition, so we have a long way to go. Out of that, we have analyzed the value chain for 6 products in Kenya, which we now have an endorsement logo on them, just like the Kenya Bureau of Standards. And then we have also taken 8,000 professionals through internship centers training. That is 47 centers in Kenya. Those are level 4 to level 7 equivalent of health facilities. Then we have about 6,373 students currently in colleges and universities. So the nutrition profession has taken great shape in Kenya compared to any other country, I want to believe so. And you will also tell me whether we have better regulatory framework. So I want to focus for today on the service arm of the Institute, which is spearheaded by ATRI programs. That is another board of management. So on that, our vision in the context of public good and private sector innovation KNDI has an overall vision. We are calling ourselves, we are looking at ourselves as an innovative regulatory institute in the provision of nutrition and dietetic services recognized internationally. That's why we are here beyond the Kenyan boundary. And this vision is executed within the core business of providing an enabling environment for sustainable improvement of nutrition and diet status for Kenyans, and of course, the entire world's population based on collaborations. And I want to say we have good relationship with many institutions across Africa. For example, we have a standing collaboration with Nelson Mandela University. We also have a standing collaboration with Uganda, and of course Tanzania, Sokoine University. We have good expertise there that we work together with. Also, in terms of public good, we are looking at aspects that will make us work and help Kenyans to get the right food. So we have approved some of the food companies that now only manufacture on the basis of quality based on our standards. So we also work together with the private sector under public-private participation collaborations. And we have also signed a number of MOUs with universities. So we have about 6 universities in Kenya that are working together with us. You only join our work collaboration if you are accredited. So these are fully accredited universities. And then we have also one university from from Nigeria, that is Bayero University, that we work together with on this service arm. And in terms of infrastructure, we are well equipped with a network of approved laboratories that we work together with as part of active review of foods in Kenya. We have so many, the government laboratories and also KEFIs, and we have also other private laboratories that work together in collaboration with us when it comes to value chain. We are building partnerships. We partner with UN bodies like FAO, and of course to some extent agencies or like international agencies like WHO. Also, we have partnered with some consortium for research like ANSEC, that is African Consortium for Research, so that we can push the research agenda. And this is our organogram for partnership. So from the council, an act of parliament, we have built up a managing partner that is called ATRI programs. And this is where now we collaborate on service ends. So we collaborate with county government, national government, NGOs. We have also research and laboratories, I've said. And we have also partnered with individuals, small-scale companies who are doing entrepreneurial activities under business incubation. And here we are coming up with what we are calling the digital online service delivery for nutrition, where private entrepreneurs can onboard and offer service beyond the Kenya boundary. And then we also have capacity building programs. I've just talked about leadership trainings. We also have a number of webinars. And then we have a center for research and innovation where we are hosting the Journal of Nutrition and Dietetics in Africa. It is indexed by AJOL, and also we are at the last stage of Scopus indexing. This is where we publish nutrition materials. That journal is impactful, and we have reviewers there and the board of editors, which anyone can join. We have a number of skills on fundraising. One of them is what has brought us here, so that we can work together. Now, to showcase the key areas of performance in health sector, agriculture, and research, we just picked this section for this side event. We have organized it such that we have 3 categories to showcase. We have category A, that is capacity building on research, and category B on knowledge dissemination. Then we also have the health sector contribution, where we are talking about category A, direct services which we offer, and we have also category B, where we have the trainings for the nutritionists. And sometimes we also train those health professionals that are not nutritionists, that want competencies in nutrition. Then we have the last one, which is the agriculture sector. On part one, which is research and innovation under capacity building, I want to show you the first key results area. We have trained about 25 PhD holders on grant writing. And this was done in collaboration with Bayero University and the 6 universities that we are collaborating with. It was very impactful, and now they can all write together some grants. We have also trained about 45, but 11 Kenyans, PhD holders, on translating research into policy. This was done at Bayero University Center for Research and Excellence. And we were there to ensure that when they come from there, now their researches can be translated into policies. Also, we are building capacity of reviewers. So we are interested in those who want to work with us and in the Journal of Nutrition and Dietetics as reviewers. So that is a call for reviewer, which is here with us, and it's also online. We'll be sharing with you. Then we have also call for abstracts. Those who want to publish their paper in the Journal of Nutrition and Dietetics, we have those areas identified as the sub-themes. We want people to write more on clinical nutrition, pediatric, adolescents, and of course, we are talking about nutrition-sensitive agriculture, applied IT support in nutrition. So those are, we are calling you to send your abstract. Then we also have a collaboration with the Consortium for Research. This is purely a consortium that is targeting training PhD holders in the universities. And this is called ANSAC. We have signed MOUs, and already we are working with the ADB Bank so that we can start the training process for Kenyan universities. Under knowledge dissemination, we have run a series of conferences since 2018. The first conference was done in Kenya at Pwani University, and we were addressing malnutrition cases. We have also run the second conference series, which was done in 2021. And this is hosted at our institute. Normally, it's a blended, virtual, and also physical. And then we have done third conference, also hosted. This was purely on food systems. We were looking at the food systems, diet, and health inequalities, including policy, which was well attended. And then we did the fourth conference. This one was looking at One Health approach, integrating food, animals, and humans. Here we came up with a declaration which we wanted Kenyan government to adopt when it comes to the National Committee, or Technical Committee on One Health. It's still with the Cabinet Secretary. It has not been instituted yet, but it was purely a result. Then now we have the fifth conference, which is coming, and here we are looking at really the role of nutrition and dietetics in health system strengthening. And we are thinking that if we have strong nutrition training and also expertise, then we can save a lot of disease conditions, 70% compared to the curative approach. And our philosophy is that nutrition is key when it comes to service delivery for interventions compared to medicine. And so 70% of cases that die are actually nutrition cases. So our approach here is that we want to bring a declarations for Kenyan government and many others to value nutrition as being very critical. Then when it comes to still under capacity building, we have collaborated with the Italian embassy, and every year we organize for joint symposiums with the embassy on matters of health, nutrition, and healthy diet. We have done this for 3 years now, and that has also been very impactful. And then, of course, we provide GND so that we can have a number of papers published in Africa and outside, shared for various audiences. Then also, when it comes to the same capacity building, we have strengthened the health systems through knowledge sharing, which I just wanted to flash. And then we also have what we call cross-cutting theme issues. Here, our aim is to empower nutrition students from first year to fourth year and from first year to third year for middle-level colleges on nutrition areas or skills of professionalism before they graduate. So here we have instituted an association for all students from Kenyan universities. The 6,000 are in one group that we call Kenya Nutrition and Dietetic Students Association. This is a national office, and every year they also organize for annual conferences, and we support them by giving them publicity and also keynote addresses. We get expertise for them to train them. In this case, we have also introduced what we call mentorship program, where seniors are mentoring the young ones. So those holding PhDs can be linked up with students from different universities, and then they can teach them nutrition in their expertise area. Also, these are some of the pictures. We just recently had a conference on digital health for nutrition and dietetics at Egerton University. I was their keynote addressee, and the students that came there were over 6,000. So some were online at the same time. Then we have contribution to health sector. First of all, we engage with ministry, both county and national government, to organize for medical camps. So here we do it on different areas of intervention. For example, we did this one case of cancer screening, where all medical professionals were there, but nutrition took the center stage so that we would offer nutrition services. That is part of Kenya, Kerugoya County. And it was very impactful. We had over 5,000, those who attended, who came for the screening for cancer. Then we also did one with the Machakos. Here we had about 5,000 targeted, and we had to do screening for about 800 members of the public. And after that, we followed up with interventions for those who had critical illnesses. So this one we do in collaboration with the Kenyan government, but then we offer the expertise. Still on capacity building, we organize series of virtual webinars with our professionals and also medical professionals. And this is purely to improve on knowledge. We have had one case of pediatric nutrition, and this is purely an online training which targets only professionals in nutrition, but then we allow even other professionals like nurses also to attend. And then we have a series of leadership and emotional intelligence training. These ones we do in collaboration with our expertise. This is purely online. It's a 2 weeks program, but intense. Our aim is to ensure that those who engage in nutrition-sensitive and nutrition-specific areas in their respective service areas are properly equipped with leadership skills and emotional intelligence. Then we have also, I've shown you the second and third conference. So I go to agriculture sector. In agriculture sector, we have training of nutritionists, and here we have approved what we call the National Training Package on Nutrition-Sensitive Agriculture and Food Systems. This is a document for the Ministry of Agriculture, and it was spearheaded by FAO. Our aim was to accredit it and disseminate to the professionals for it to be used. Here we are saying those who are in service delivery, they must get a package. You can see there we have our former PS Agriculture, Livestock, who was part of the launch. And we had also the FAO team. So this document is now being used in Kenya, and it is also available online. Our aim is that any student that is being taught at the university and those who are in service delivery must understand the concept of agriculture, because there is no nutrition without agriculture. So food begins with planting. So we want them to gain skills, and also when they're practicing, when you're talking about nutrition and you want to talk about diet diversity, for example, at a health facility, there must be a demonstration of a kitchen garden for those that are being discharged to be told what a kitchen garden looks like. So this document is helping us to do that. And then we have the kitchen gardening concept where we train our interns so that they can understand the concept of agriculture We have done this in Busia County as a prototype, and it has really impacted on the knowledge so that we know from field to fork, somebody can know the origin of food, and where there are issues, they can start it from planting. Now with this, we had a center somewhere where we were training all those who have graduated on basic skills for nutrition-sensitive agriculture. These are graduates from the university, and they were doing this for a whole year, so that after they have graduated, we usher them into the academy, and then from that academy, they can come up with skills, and then those skills now, when they are released to the field to go and participate in service delivery under community nutrition, they can also make it more practical than theoretical based. And the essence here was that our training at the universities focus more on 70% theory, but now we are saying that if they have had knowledge on 70% theory, then they must also have some knowledge on competency-based aspect of training. And this is where we have the academy. It's like the law school of Kenya. So after law school, after studying law, you have to join the law school. So we had this in Busia County. Then on this, I want to say thank you, because we have think we're almost there. We still have some time. We have some documents that we want to share. So this thank you is just to tell you that we are available for collaborations. Currently, what I didn't say, we are hosting a watch party for ANH in Kenya, which is running today up to Friday. And that is also inviting training institutions to come and watch this conference in our center. We collaborated with ANH, and it is really working. We did that last year. We are doing it again this year. And with that, we had some documents here that we would want to share with you based on what we have presented. The details, the main critical details are in these documents. These were just show, but each one of you who has come will go with a package. You can study us in detail, and then when you are satisfied, we have this thank you card where we have a QR code. You can tell us where you want to collaborate with us. We are very much ready, and we are ready to go beyond Africa, because we see there is a space in Kenya for this kind of collaboration. So I want to appreciate my KNDI team. These are very young team members. They are also graduates, recent graduates. They are also being empowered. And we worked on this together with the team that is hosting the watch party. So we have another team left there. And then the entire nutrition fraternity. So I want to appreciate you for coming for this. This is an area that if you want, we can still explore further. So that QR code will give you the form. And Jacqueline is there. We want to leave it for question and reactions within the time that is left. Jacqueline, you can, the QR code is inside here. Yeah, so Pauline will be giving you a package. Just carry it to your hotel and study. Once you pick it in the mind, you can leave the documents in a better place, but you can also carry home. And it will give you a hint of what we are doing in Kenya. For now, I would want to leave it for question and answer, short question, so that we can close. Thank you. So some questions? Yeah. So as Pauline, yes, there's a question here.
Thank you, David, and your team on presenting KNDI. I'm actually a member. among the first members. I think I'm number 500 and something. My name is Catherine from Kenya, and it's really nice to be in this session. I have always wondered where KNDI is for people who are not necessarily in training institutions, and so my interest in coming into this session. Two things I'm curious about. The ATRI PLC, who are they? Considering that this is a regulatory body, and what's really their role at the KNDI.
Okay.
It was good to understand the service functions as well as the regulatory functions. Occasionally on television I have seen Weetabix approved by KNDI. And I've always wondered, is KNDI supposed to be approving products? Where is the place of KEBS and those other institutions that really should be approving products? And especially then thinking about conflict of interest. When you are a regulatory framework and you're approving products, then for me, I get worried on that joint roles. And then, of course, finally, I'm happy to know that there are places we can support and we can work together, the reviews of journals, and also maybe putting in our work. So I'll be looking forward to mentor also your students through the association. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You said your name is? Huh? Catherine. Maybe I can respond to her so that it can also be a learning point. Yes, I'm interested to understand that you are number something. I'm seeing you for the first time now. First of all, the first to address is on ATRI PLC. If you look at the act itself that Parliament gave Kenya, under Section 7, it says that the council can delegate its function to expertise, and you are one of the expertise. So ATRI is a group of managing partners. They're not business people who are scientists that now spearhead the concept of service without conflict of interest. So when you come to conflict of interest, the regulatory functions will remain with the council. The remaining part of service is now done by managing partners, including expertise like you. So if you are ready to come, you will still join and be part of the process when it comes to expertise. Now, in terms of approval of products, Kenya Bureau of Standard are custodians of standard. They are not developers of standard. So they have no mandate to approve products. They only approve based on the manufacturer's specification. And most of the time, they use Codex Elementaris standards. So they are custodians of standard. And you've heard me many times in television explaining to government. The last time they appeared before members of Committee on Health in Parliament, they said they don't do tests, which means that you are at risk. So when somebody claims nutrition in Kenya, then we must be assured of the test, which Kenya Bureau of Standards doesn't do. Now for us, under Section 6J, which I've just mentioned to you, it says that working jointly with other bodies, participate actively in the review of food supplements, and then inform Kenyans. So that's what we are doing. That space was not there. Now, in the new bill that is coming up, that is the Food and Drug Authority, you will have noticed that there is a section in our act which says that we shall participate again actively in under Food and Drugs Authority. Why? If KEBS cannot tell us whether Weetabix, the content being claimed, is actually what is inside, then we are at risk. That is why that gap was closed, and Parliament added this function in 2019. So that is very good. And then on area of collaboration, I'm surprised because the institute is made up of professionals, and you are one of them. Now you are talking like you are not part of the institute. And I'm hearing this for the first time. An institute is made up of you and me, which means the professionals themselves set standards. So you won't walk into the institute headquarters and say, I'm part of this, and I have this expertise to bring on board. One of our professionals who is now leading the digital is actually now doing it through KNDI. So with the digital agency, we have now given them an approval to get into the onboarding system of digital agency. So that is, you are most welcome, and if you are part of the 14,500, I'm G367. So if you're 500, you just came immediately after me. I'm also an expert there. Thank you very much, yes. Any other question? There's a question here. Yes. You can assist, studio.
Yes, thank you very much for your very nice presentation on the Kenyan Nutritional Dietetics Association Institute. Yes, yeah, you have gone very far in terms of this association as compared to other countries, as you have said. Yeah, so I wanted to ask if what are the criteria maybe to join that institute? Is it just for Kenyans, or even other citizens from other countries could join that institute? Thank you very much.
Thank you. I respond to that quickly so that, yes, we are not only registering nutritionists and dietitians in Kenya. We have 4 already registered Ugandans that are having our license. We were talking with the expertise from Tanzania. I think somebody was coming from one of the universities. We forgot she was organizing on how they can be registered. Now, in the East African community, we are coming up with the model curriculum. We first did one here with EXA, which was for all the medical professionals. But right now, we are working with the Rwanda Allied Health Science and Ugandan Dietetics Association so that we can come up with a modest curriculum that will allow for easy transfer of professionals across East Africa. And this does not stop there. We have one member, Professor Anali Grace from South Africa, who is an associate member. So you can also be an associate member. She's not a Kenyan, and she's a dietitian from South Africa, Nelson Mandela. And because of her science background, she joined KNDI as an associate member. So we have what we call associate membership. You're not necessarily trained in Kenya as a nutritionist, but because of the interest, then you become a member, so you can become a mentor for our professionals abroad, yes. So you're welcome. Yeah.
Great. I want to say it's very great to see your broad perspective and how you're tackling the different service functions, and particularly your recognition of the importance of agriculture and getting nutritionists and agriculturalists working together. One thing I didn't hear in your your different collaborations is, what are you doing with the Ministry of Education? You're working with nutritionists at the students, the higher end, the higher degrees, but I've always felt that nutrition is a life skill. And when are you going to get nutrition better integrated into primary and secondary schools, so the population has better nutritional knowledge? So maybe that's, how do you see your work at the lower levels of education moving forward with this incredible group of nutritionists that you're coordinating?
Thank you very much for the compliment. And I think I need to respond to that because, as I said, we only picked the service key areas. But when it comes now to our regulatory functions, we have now integrated competence curriculum for primary school, which now has incorporated nutrition skills as part of the curriculum. That is now undertaken by the Ministry of Education, and our Ministry for Health, the nutrition department, was being part of it. So as regulators, what we are doing is to ensure that at every given point, those who are going to deliver the curriculum as teachers, they will have to be empowered on nutrition skills before they start teaching, but it's already in the curriculum. Also, we have what we call occupational standards, which has been developed for middle-level colleges. That also has nutrition content approved by us. So this is now being implemented by TVETA, that is technical and vocational training. So the nutrition curriculum and content is in the primary. So we work together with the Ministry of Education. And one of the slides I show had the secretary, that is called the CAS for Education, who was part of that process when we were launching the grant training. So which means we work with them, not directly because we are from the health sector, but we work with them when it comes to implementation. So that is on the regulatory component. For service component, one of our standards in the checklist is talking about nutrition-sensitive value chain kitchen and garden. So anybody who has gone through nutrition program must have a portfolio which is built, which is assessed online to show that they have touched the agriculture component. So each training institution must have a kitchen garden, just like the former 4K club. So this time around we call it value chain kitchen garden. So that's part of our standards. So it's highly concentrated there. Yes. Thank you. Any other question? I think we still have, we have about 15 minutes, yes. There's a question.
Thank you very much. It was really interesting. My name is Arlene Alpha from CIRAD, French Research Institution. I have a question maybe in line with the previous one, your relationships not with education but the agricultural sector. So I understood, but maybe I misunderstood because of my bad English, but I understood that you are working with the Ministry of Agriculture, you are training agricultural officials, but I wasn't very clear about your collaboration regarding curriculum of agricultural officials, I mean in agriculture and agronomy schools. Are you actually in charge of revising, updating this curriculum, or were you actually the initiator of new curriculum with nutrition-sensitive courses? This was not very clear
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I've gotten your question. It is asking what is our key role exactly when it comes to curriculum.
Yeah, and a sub-question.
Yes.
I was wondering if you have seen some increasing demand or interest from people involved in the agricultural sector for being trained in nutrition, because we are hearing about nutrition-sensitive agriculture for quite a while now, but I was wondering if concretely in your daily work you have seen this rise of interest for nutrition from people involved in the agricultural sector. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll first start with the first question. Our key role actually is oversight when it comes to curriculum integration. So we have our experts who participate directly as service providers when it comes to developing the curriculum. We don't do that. But after they have developed the curriculum, they have to share with the council. So that is where we now bring in a team of expertise to review the curriculum. And if it is okay, then we approve it. That's what we did with the Ministry of Agriculture. Now, in terms of adoption of nutrition-sensitive agriculture, it's still very low because many didn't know that food is important before the table. And most of the time, the nutritionists were focusing on diet diversity and also quality of that as a measure of quality of diet. They were also just focusing on the final end when it comes to what do you need for a particular condition, so the clinical aspect of it. But they did not look at where food comes from. So when you tell a nutritionist that you can do a kitchen garden that will demonstrate for you the value of food from field, they would be like, I'm not an agriculture student. So we are now telling them that you can't talk about the food you don't know where it's coming from. So you must now go back to the fork and tell us this food that is on the table, what is the quality from the ground? And if the quality comes in, when you want to do biofortification, where is it done? It is done in the field. So you must understand biotechnology before food is grown. So that is coming at the university level, but it is still at the lowest end of acceptance, even for Kenya. But with the Ministry of Agriculture and us as expertise in place, we hope that when we do the portfolio system, all students who graduate now will understand why they need agricultural concept plus nutrition concept early enough before they get into interventions. Yeah. Yes. There's one.
Thank you very much for this interesting overview of the Institute. I wanted to find out regarding the influence that your Institute has related to policies around trade, imports of food, but also on processing by private companies. Can you elaborate on that?
Thank you. That is the most difficult question to address, but let me address it now. Because when we came into being, we had part of our act saying anybody who is marketing food and food product with a nutrition claim that is not approved by the council is liable for an offense. So our first question was, where is the object for implementation? So we went back to Parliament and asked them to add a section which was talking about joint review of food and food products, so that if somebody analyzes markets without analysis, then now we can tell them we did not review your products. The influence is there, but the fights are still there. You heard about the question of Kenya Bureau of Standards. Initially, they thought that that was their role, until we both appeared before Parliament, and we asked them, what is your role? They said they don't do tests. So we told them, now who helps us to do tests so that we are sure of what is on the claim? They said they have no idea. They rely on the manufacturer. Then we say that's not oversight. So we came in now to do the oversight. So what we do is value chain process analysis, where we look at the company value chain from the beginning to the end. If you go to the YouTube, you will see the whole presentation of value chain. After that, we do lab test. And then if we confirm that what is indeed on the label is what is inside, then now we can say this food is okay. But not only that, we also look at how it relates with health. So that influence is in the Act. But as I told you, we have just completed 499 food companies have registered as having claims. We have 4,900 products with nutrition claims, which we are supposed to do a value chain. We asked Parliament to give us the mandate so that we can do it. And they said with the expertise, with other people coming on board, it is possible. But it's a very difficult thing at the moment, though we want to ensure that that is done in Kenya. And this will include both internal food being manufactured and external food which is being manufactured from outside and imported, yeah.
Yeah. If you may allow me to have a follow-up question. So maybe that works well for registered companies or manufacturers. What about the informal sector where people are preparing food in their homes and selling? How do you deal with these issues?
It's a long process. You know, when you want to release an army into the market, particularly for Kenya now, you have to train them. So when I talk of 14,500 professionals, they're part of the institute. As time goes by, we expect them to be in control at the value addition level in the community. At the moment, because of the politics of nutrition, pharmaceutical, and medicine, it is still being resisted. But I can tell you, every county has a nutritionist. So we want to use them as a tool of urgency. So that is why we are upscaling the training of nutritionists. Some say this is too much training, but then we were hoping that in the next 10 years, you should have about 60,000 nutritionists in the country who can be strategically put at points where they can look at food at household level. That's why we have 4 categories of nutritionists right now classified. We have clinical ones, clinical nutritionists, where we have the critical care and others. Then we have food service diet therapists. Then we have clinical dietitian. Now at the community, we have now classified community nutrition, public health nutrition, then food science nutritionists, who are dealing with value chain. So that classification is what we are doing at the professional level. Once that is done, we expect them now to be an army of pillars at the community level. Any other question? I think we are almost, yes. There's one at the back there. Okay. So about 6 minutes left.
Just one last fun question for you. There are many Kenyans attending this meeting. Do they get their 42 hours credit for attending the ANH Academy?
Yes. I don't know whether you are registered for CPD. You see, I'm going to follow you up, but it's okay. You need to register as a CPD in the portal. Are you registered online in the portal? So you are the one I've been looking for. You're hiding. All professionals have access to OSP, where they register, and then as they renew, they must get their CPD. So you are awarded a CPD point before the renewal. So those who pay money without CPD points, we put them in a separate document and inform them that you have not attained at least 20% of the CPD for this year, so you cannot be licensed. But those who attain 14 points, for example, one publication in a peer-reviewed journal is equal to 14 points. So once you publish one paper, that is enough. If you attend a conference like this, you get 6 points. And if you do CMEs and CNEs, then you get 3 points. So if you do 4 of them in a year, you get like 12. If you do 5, you get the 14 points. And then you are retained, yeah. So that was your question also, whether there are CPDs. No, CPD. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Just 3 minutes for you, so that we don't eat into the time of others.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Engineer Kamukuru from the Dodoma, Tanzania. Being an expert on nutrition, can you talk a little bit on the GM food, on the nutrition status? Thank you.
Okay, that's off, but let me talk. If you go to our YouTube, I will give you a link for the conference on One Health. We had very interesting panel discussion on GMO. What I want to tell you is that GMO is not bad. That's number one. Because you see, I know you're laughing because you don't want me to say that. Genetically modified food is a scientific approach of multiplication, because it helps us to make food survive at growing point, so that we can have enough within the shortest time possible, depending on the manipulation of genes. At the moment in Kenya, we don't have GMOs. We only had one prototype of GMO, which is the BT maize. And that was approved as an experiment. So we don't have it. But there is nothing wrong with genetically modified foods. Most of the time, people confuse that with highly hybridized, those foods that are modified for other things. GMO means you can pick a gene that is resistant and put it in another product. I know there have been politics about the Monsantos and the BT maize vis-a-vis the rats, but that is not a problem. So if you go to our YouTube, you'll find a whole 2 hours discussion on GMO. And my last statement was that GMO is not bad. If the scientists are given space and if we are informed appropriately about what to consume, then we can go on. We allow science to take precedence. You, who is our member, you must come to my office so that we can discuss that.